Well, welcome in, folks. It's your host, Chris Britton. It's always a joy to come to you. Hopefully bring a little something to the table. We're calling it the Chris Britton Show. I don't love the name. Come up with something better one of these days. Hey, well, we got a special guest today, a dear friend for quite a while. Been around this area. If you have children in athletics at the high school level, middle school level, you probably know him. But welcome in good friend Stephen Clark. Stephen, how you doing today, buddy?
Good. I appreciate you having me, Chris. Appreciate the applause.
I hear you, man. So what's going on in your world today, man? Nothing new in your life, is there? Like in the last, year or so, less?
Been knocking out all the life stuff at once. It's
Right.
all the things I've been praying for, but got married just over a year and a half ago, and we just had our baby girl, and she's 5 months old now, and got
How
a
about that?
nice little house here in Auburn. Been doing all the new home mods and stuff, so
Yeah.
it's been blessed, brother.
That's awesome, man. Well, we'll tell everybody, anybody who doesn't know you, what do you do, man? You work with a pretty important organization. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, no, I work with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, now the Central Alabama FCA director. So I cover 13 counties worth of FCA, which consists of nine colleges and universities. We got 76 high schools and 106 elementary middle schools throughout Central Alabama. So
How about that? No,
keeps you
just a
hopping.
small task.
Yeah, we got a great team. So we not nearly enough of us, but
Sure.
they're all hard workers out there trying to do the Lord's work on all these campuses and with
Uh-huh.
these athletes and coaches. So it's blessed to be a part of it for sure. It impacted me a lot through college, so
Yeah.
it's nice to try to give that opportunity to all these different programs.
Yeah.
So
We'll talk about FCA a little bit. Like, for assuming that somebody watching this has no idea at all, what does FCA do? What's the goal, the mission?
yeah, so it I say the vision is to help every coach and athlete grow into a relationship with Jesus Christ and his church, and just through the influence of coaches and athletes, impacting campuses and communities and everyone whom they influence. And so, kind of in a nutshell of what it is that it looks like on each campus is we've got kind of three different things. We got like team huddles where we'll kind of come and we partner with local churches and are able to have pastors and other influential people in the community come as character coaches and speak into the team regularly. And so that would be considered a team huddle. There's a great character coach out in Prattville named Chris Britton that does an
I know
amazing
that guy.
job.
He's not all that.
But really just, I always say, we're going to try to minister to coaches so that they love their players. Parents obviously should love their kids, but character coaches are just somebody that loves Jesus and is
Yeah.
there just representing, his love for us. They don't care how you played, they don't care about your homework you might encourage them, but it's like the parents are the ones holding them accountable for
Right.
that. But I just, just somebody that represents the love of Christ
Sure.
for these kids. And, being able to have team huddles for the athletes. We got coaches huddles and Bible studies that we do for the coaches and set that up. And then the campus huddle is I say, kind of near and dear to my heart. It's just really fun to create a place and a space on every campus that these kids and, these coaches can use. I say all the things that they've been poured into by their, amazing parents and churches to be able to look at their campus as a mission field and be able to share Christ with their peers. And the campus huddle, I say, is my favorite because you can kind of build student leadership teams and like, for me, it's the closest I get to being like Christ, where, he found his 12 and they changed the whole world. And if I can find my one or two on each campus to change that campus, man, it's just the best feeling to me.
That's awesome, man. All right. So, it goes right in line with, it makes me think of the Great Commission, right? Where Jesus said, go and make disciples. And I think sometimes we stop at the disciple part and use that verse purely talking about evangelism, which it does obviously talk about evangelism. But in the next breath, really, he goes on to say, and teach them to follow my commands, which brings in discipleship, which is the picture of what FCA desires to do, I believe, from my understanding, is to share the gospel so that people come to know the Lord and then teach them how to follow his ways, disciple them. I mean, speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know in the past, FCA, like, which I think is honestly a great, I say, trait to have, is that we do have such great access to be able to, go into locker rooms and go
Sure.
onto sidelines and
Yeah.
be able to evangelize in these places and spaces that it's like you don't have to wait for them, come to church on Sunday to tell them
Right.
about Jesus and how great he is. And so I think the evangelism aspect is a huge part of what we do.
Well, sure.
But it is, not the end all be all, where the
Right.
goal would be to find, like you said, these disciples, I say, these spiritual captains on each
Sure.
team that, you can really challenge and push and grow, and just be able to kind of encourage them in their walk to step, further out in their faith, and, be there for them to answer questions as they continue to go on their journeys. And so it's just, it's a really cool thing to be able to do. But it's also really cool to see how to be able to bring, I say, either coaches on the staff, or, even sometimes teachers at the school, or insurance agents into the
That's
fold of
right.
this disciple making. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, we've all been called to full-time ministry. You don't
Sure.
have to just work for FCA. And so
That's right.
to have people in the community that, have a heart for these kids and just desire to serve these programs, it's never short of just being amazed of how many amazing people are in these communities, and how the Lord will, wherever I can seem to fall short or not be able to serve as much as I wish I could in
Right.
areas, to see how the Lord brings up someone to come alongside me. And man, it just really encourages me to help accommodate and, serve and help encourage in any way I can. So.
Yeah. Well, it's been fun to watch you too, because when you came on with FCA, um, how big, what was your scope? About 6 counties maybe? Or was it,
Yeah,
I know
we
you
had
were more of like a regional, or I guess was area. Where's your regional now? Am I getting that right?
well, it's still technically an area. I was just an area rep, but now
Okay.
I'm a director.
There
So
you go.
we've hired a few area reps that are serving. Like, we've got a guy, Jameson Stevens, who was a former coach at Huntingdon, that came to our
Uh-huh.
Bible studies that we did for the coaches, and he just really, Lord put upon his heart the inner city schools in Montgomery, and he's
Yeah.
been doing an amazing job just doing weekly huddles with each team and just being a consistent presence in those high schools and middle schools. And man, he's done an incredible job the last couple years. And then we were able to hire Mariah Say, who's
Yeah. She's a good one.
Prattville
Yeah.
uh, alum, and superstar volleyball player out in
Yeah.
Tuskegee. And
A
man, she's
superstar
really,
person. Yeah.
oh, yeah, no kidding. She
Yeah.
is the real deal. And just especially that has been a huge prayer for a little while for us, is just, like, we have definitely I say, a male dominated staff, and
Sure.
to be able to have a female that can go and speak into these girls. And just, she got really on fire this year about speaking into identity, and just how much the world lies, and how much, they're so hard on themselves, which with
Yeah.
physical appearance, as
Sure.
well as, success and achievements, and especially as athletes, just always feeling like your stats are who you are and your value in this world. And to be able to be like, no, like, you're a daughter of the king,
That's
like,
right.
and not just a king, like
The.
the king, the God of all things, the universe, that created the universe and the earth, and
Yeah.
you, like, you're a daughter of this king. And so to act and to carry yourself with that, the value that you are, like,
Sure.
very, very powerful word that she was able to share with volleyball teams this fall, and as well as a lot of our campus huddles she would come and speak at. And man, that's just, honestly, I've gotten more fired up by watching Jameson and
Yeah.
Mariah and these new staff just be
That's
just
awesome.
absolute. on fire for the Lord in these places, and I'm just like, let's go, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, all right. So because we live in Alabama, I think a lot of times people unintentionally think of FCA as, well, that's that football program. They come alongside football. That could not be further from the truth. It's all sports, right? I mean, what are some other things going on?
Yes. Yeah, it's all sports. I will say, like, man, I feel like God loves football, so I think Jesus and the Lord is
Yeah,
not.
I think he's more of a basketball fan because it bounces right. That just it's order. There's not as
Yeah,
much chaos. I don't know.
yeah, but I mean, I'm an Auburn guy, and like sometimes you just need Jesus a little bit more during the fall, and just praying for miracles every game, and just
That's
sometimes he comes through. Thankfully, he did when I played, but this year not so much.
yeah.
But it just draws you that much more on your dependence of a relationship with him instead of all the idolatry of sport that goes on for all you Kentucky fans and
That's right.
Alabama fans.
Oh, that's so funny. Well,
But
speaking of that, let's talk about your football playing career a little bit, man. That's kind of
mhm,
fun stuff, man. For people who don't know
yeah.
you, maybe I know you don't like to talk about those things because, like we were just saying, identity. You don't. That's not what defines you. I mean, it's your relationship with Christ, but it's pretty cool. Some of the things you've been able to do and been a part of, man. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, no, it was a cool journey from, I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri, and
The home
I
of
ended
real
up
barbecue, by the way, is what I've been
home of
told.
real barbecue. Yeah, if you never need some, it was a COVID skill I learned, so I can throw down now here in the South. So need to open a restaurant or something,
What
but
what did you gave me something? It was something ends or something. What was that
yeah,
called?
the burnt ends.
Burnt ends. That
Yep.
was fantastic. I just couldn't remember what it was
hmm
called.
Yep. They're hard to find down here, but I
Yeah,
got you. It just
yeah.
takes me like all day, so good luck finding an all day these days. But no, I went to Cole's kicking camp and ended up like winning the national ranking camp, and so I still kind of help out and coach some local kickers and punters, which is kind of cool to be able to circle back around during the football season as an FCA guy and see a lot of
Right.
the kids I've seen and helped train throughout the year. But I ended up winning that camp, which is a national invite camp. To ended up getting a full ride to Auburn, and Auburn never seen me punt a ball until I showed up in the fall or this I guess summer.
Uh huh.
And so he ended up playing at Auburn from 2010 to 13. So that's like Cam Newton to the kick six.
Yeah.
So I
You
got
were
a lot
there.
of fun, Auburn stories in those
Right.
years. But as far as me in my journey, like had some coaching strife on my freshman season and was fired 3 times in 5 games, which is a testament to my resilience to
Yeah.
earn my spot back every time in order to get fired. But it was a rough season for me in 2010 personally, and I really got sifted in college. And I call my sophomore year sort of my Ecclesiastes chapter of,
Yeah.
seeking things of the world and trying to find joy in my success and awards. And by the end of my sophomore year, I was a national champion my freshman year, and then was a All-American my sophomore year, Red Guy finalist, which is the top 3 punters in the
Uh huh.
country, and SEC Player of the Week, I think 3 times that year. And so to kind of have accomplished, and my GPA was like a 3.95, which
Uh huh.
is like the peak of all things. And so it was just like that year, it was just such a fulfillment of everything I'd been working so hard for, but it was like still such an emptiness in me that I
Yeah.
thought would be fulfilled, through that. And then I was just really aware of the existence of God, but not as like he wasn't real to me.
Right.
And so I like believed that he was there, but there was nothing personal, I say, in my understanding of who he was. I just knew a lot about what people told me about him, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And obviously hell doesn't sound great, so yeah, I believe in him, and like just hopefully do good enough, I guess. I don't know, like I didn't think a whole lot about it. And after that I began to kind of seek an understanding of who God was, and fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, and I
Yeah.
began to really see how real he is, and realize also like how far I was from him. And so that season, was kind of a wake up call to me. And so going from having all these worldly things that I thought would bring me joy, I was like, now I'm having to like start all over. And
Mm-hmm.
also not only that, but it's something that I don't know, people don't even think about, but it's like my motivation to like for sport went from primarily being motivated out of fear of just like failure and worrying that, man, I'm on about like one of my most genuine prayers was before the South Carolina game, my sophomore year. Is my first big SEC start. Once I was like the guy, and I remember like the worst warm up I've ever had, and I shanked a punt in pregame and almost hit Coach Malzahn in the head. He was the OC at the time, and he still reminds me of that to this day. And I go in the back corner of the locker room. I'm just on my knees, just praying. I'm just like, Lord, like, just don't let me go out here and look stupid. I'm
Yeah.
just so terrified of how terrible this like was. And man, it was, the wind, it was like crazy. The wind would like shift at my back every punt, and it was like windy day. And I ended up with like 11 punts, I think, inside the 20, which is still like tied for the record at Auburn, and was SEC
Wow.
Player of the Week, and ended up having a great game. And it was just like him, I don't know, just like opening my eyes to like, man, like I'm here and I'm
Yeah.
available to you if you would
Mm-hmm.
just seek me and find me when you search me with all your heart. And so I kind of started to do that. And then next year I thought when you gave your life to the Lord, things just go great.
Right.
Um, but we went 3-9, and everybody had a bad year. Chisholm got fired, and to kind of top it all off, my like grandfather got diagnosed with cancer,
Oh,
and
wow.
I got told like right before camp started that he would probably not make it past Thanksgiving, which for Auburn
Wow.
fans, that's the Iron Bowl. And so
Yeah.
um, anyway, I ended up, that was another of one of the most genuine prayers I've ever had. Was I was like, Lord, like I'm not ready to face death. And this was like my grandfather was like the man I wanted to be, like
Yeah.
and I pray everybody has at least somebody like one, and that is just somebody that you can look up to. And he was such a patient, kind, loving man. And I was just like, don't take him yet, because I'm just figuring you out, and I have no idea how to handle losing someone like that. And so I was
Mm-hmm.
like, if you can give me more time with him and just teach me how to approach losing someone in death, I was like, I'll give you not just like my life, but like I'll let you do with it whatever you want. And it's funny looking back now, because he ended up, cancer went into remission. We ended up not going to bowl game because we're 3-9. So I got to spend all winter with him.
Yeah.
He ends up making it and living a whole nother year with, it
Wow.
wasn't always pretty, but long story
Yeah.
short is he got to watch me play in the 2013 national championship. And to be able to have that extra time, the Lord revealed to me that, man, it's like every good thing comes from God, and the good people in our life and the good times and the good
Mm-hmm.
things, it's like those were all given. Like you
Yeah.
don't earn that. Like there's nothing that we've done to deserve like a grandfather that's amazing. And
Sure.
so it was like whenever we lose that, it's like you can either be upset for all the time you've lost, or you can have a heart of thankfulness for all the time that you had.
All right.
And that
Perspective.
really that really changed my perspective on death and loss, and gave me the strength to be able to go through that, which it still wasn't easy. But what it did though is, it's funny now because I'm like, I remember I told God that if he did that, I'd give him my life and let him do with it with whatever he wants. And now I'm sitting here
I
year
gotta pay
nine,
up.
and I'm in year 9 of full-time ministry. And it's just like, I really wish you would have picked the NFL, because my bank account would look way better. But here I am, and
Which, hey, you
just
dabbled with that a
faithfully.
little bit too, just as a cool point.
Oh yeah, I mean, they don't tell you this though, but like, so I signed a contract. I still have a copy of it in my safe. It was for $450,000. But how the NFL works is you sign this. I think I signed it in maybe April. And so I was in Oakland for 16 weeks, and, working out with all the guys. I was making 700 a week in California, which is not
Not
a whole
much.
lot.
Not enough.
And no, and like it was rough, and I was like heating up the lunch they gave us. Like, well, I'd take a little box back to the hotel for dinner, and
Uh-huh.
like there wasn't a microwave in the room, so I had to go up front every day. And they're like, "You need your food heated up, don't you?" And I'm like, but it was just such a season of like, man. And I had like 5 roommates in the 16 weeks I was there, but I ended up getting cut after the third preseason game. And how they divvy up that 450,000 is it's between the 16 games in the regular season. And so I never even made it to the regular season where they start paying like 15,000 a week. Um, and so I never even saw a penny of that. And so it's great memories, but
Yeah,
it was not a financially blessed season of my life.
I'm sure. Well, listen, I want to be conscious of your time, so I want to draw us to a close, but we cannot close and take as long as you need to, by the way. With that said, how can people support FCA? I know there's fundraisers. I know there's a website they can go, they can give, they can, if they want to look into serving, there's avenues for that. Talk about involvement a little bit.
Yeah, as far as involvement goes, definitely just alabamafca.org. There's a lot of events and camps, especially if y'all got kids that want to be a part. Always email me sclark@fca.org. But yeah, we have regular events where we'll come and celebrate all the Lord's done in
Sure.
FCA with the people that financially support us. And so we just wrapped up our annual it's a Salute to Veterans Bowl banquet, which is a breakfast at like an ungodly hour of like
Yeah.
7:30 in the morning Monday.
Yeah.
But we had some of the Troy and Jack State players come. They have FCA chaplains that we are real connected with here in Alabama that
Hmm.
we're able to have these kids share their testimonies, and coaches like Coach Lee over there at Jack State. And so anyway, it's a really cool thing to be a part of. And that's something that I say as a director now is I'm really trying to figure out ways that I can minister to the people that are donating,
Sure.
and figure out where their heart and desires would be to give, whether that's for Bibles or for sending kids to camp,
Hmm.
or to help specifically like a local FCA staff person like Mariah in Prattville, where it's somebody that's close to home that you're going to see regularly, or maybe somebody that's a little more focused on the big vision. And so I would say the next thing coming up that's on my mind is March 30th. I'm real close with the Purcell family out at there in Sylacauga. So we're going to have our Captain Crunch Classic, which is a really special golf tournament in honor of Mike Colon, who just he was a stud athlete at Auburn, but also
Hmm.
just a stud human being. And he really helped jumpstart FCA in Alabama. And we kind of do this golf tournament statewide to honor him, as well as his family, and just be able to help raise support for this entire area. And so whether that's a whole sponsorship, maybe if they aren't golfers, or if they want to send a team, that's something that is probably next up on the ticket. So that's like all on the website. So I won't
Yeah.
go into a ton of details, but it's
And just to circle back, you were talking about your staff a little bit, or some of the staff. You talked about the fella in Montgomery. You talked about Mariah up here in the Prattville area, and all over the river region, I'm sure. Like
mhm.
the FCA has a big old pot of money that they just pay these salaries with, right? Okay, no, that's not right. So
I wish.
you're right. Yeah,
National FCA, they are there as, let's just call them prayer warriors for
sure.
us. They help with some of the receipting and things during tax season. But as far as each individual staff has to raise 100% of their salary, any type of expenses to put gas in the tank, which my area rep days, I was racking up 2 to 3,000 miles a month on
I
my truck,
imagine.
which is a 2014 Sierra, which was my like, I don't have student loan purchase after college. And that sucker has 356,000 miles
How
on
about
it
that?
now. And so putting gas in that bad boy, as well as any type of like camps or events that we do, or fields of faith, or like anything we want to do, it involves having people locally, churches, businesses, individuals that want to partner with us to be able to make any of this happen. And
Uh-huh.
so it's just from the bottom of my heart, if y'all have ever given or prayed for FCA staff, like, man, thank you. Because it is everybody, I think, works hard for their money, and just to be able to give it for the kingdom, and to be able to help a staff person or a cause, or like, again, kind of what I was saying, wherever the passions of, I say, the charitable lie is, just, man, it's such a blessing, I say, to be able to have this ministry sustained, and to continue to bring this good news. And man, it just to have the freedom to do that is just means the world.
That's awesome. Well, great work that you're doing, leading your team, but also your team, the work they're doing here locally and all over the state. Man, so proud for you guys, and really would urge anybody that finds this video, look into helping, look into praying. And we say like praying's the least you can do. No, that's a big deal. Like that's like about as big as you can get. But also consider giving, donating time, whatever it is. To be a part as well. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for your time today. I know you got little buddy that's there at the house too, and you got big plans. You got stuff going on tonight. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So,
yeah, I'm gonna try to get old little Rayleigh Shay taken care of. Her little 5-month-old baby girl. Rock her a little before I head out to this bowl game tonight with Troy and Jack State. We got a lot of kids that we've actually ministered to at the high school level that have gone on to play college ball, so I'm excited to be able to hit some helmets on the sideline and say
fun to see some familiar faces.
For sure.
No doubt. All right, well, Mr. Stephen, thank you so much. Thanks to those of you who have tuned in today to check this out. I appreciate you. We'll do some more of them. This is our 12 days of local love that we've been doing. So want to show a little local love to the FCA program.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being a part of the show. We'll see you next time. All right, dude, fantastic job, man. I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you. Hopefully didn't get too rambly, but
no, man, it was perfect. It was perfect. We we could have gone all day. Just for your time purposes, I want to keep it around 20 to 25 minutes. We hit 26, so it's about perfect.
Perfect. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, dude. Well, listen, get back at it. I'm gonna do the same.
Will do. God bless you, man. Tell the family.
You too. When you're up this way, give me a shout.
All right. Bye.
All right. See you, buddy. Bye.